This is The End of the World, an old golden oldie from the early 60s. Very, very nice song, if you ask me. Has been covered by several artists, like for example Brenda and the Carpenters, and well, there's more out there. You need to check it out. However, the song is in the key of B flat. It's on the piano. Well, that's the one that I mostly hear, and it has this pattern, which is very translatable to the guitar, if you ask me. It goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 6/8 pattern there in home position. So you play the bass note with your thumb, depending on which chord you're playing. I'm playing a G, obviously now, relative to the capo. And then I hit the third string, the second, the top, the second, the third, and that would be a whole measure. I simply use my thumb, index, middle, ring finger, middle, index. Of course, you could play this in shifted position depending on, well, what you want, I suppose. However, let me, first things first. I already mentioned, I think she is in the key of B flat. The Carpenters, for example, are half step down in the key of A, so you can do whatever you like there. But in order to stay in B flat and not necessarily play it with those shapes, because that's quite hard, capo the guitar on the 3rd fret, and we go for the shapes in the key of G instead. And actually, those notes, those high notes there on top, are the ones you can hear on the piano there too. So it's actually really, well, a good way to play it. And definitely an easier way. And then all the suspects of the key of G are in there. So let me play a verse. A D with an F sharp in the bass. E minor. B minor 7. And this is what I mean. I'm only playing the bass notes and the 3 top strings. So I don't have to fret anything more, even though sometimes personally I like to play the 4th string there too. Something like that. But if you don't, then just go for this fingering, and then there's a C6, A minor, an E7, A minor 7 to C minor, and then the second verse comes in. There's a bridge, which simply has a C and an A minor, and a D7 back to G. Well, and so on and so on. And then you have another verse, and that actually ends on a G, and then all of a sudden we have a key change. The Carpenters don't. So if you're kind of like, that's too hard, because it is hard. On the guitar, changing the key a half step up or down results often, in this case, like with an A flat. So now all of a sudden you gotta bar all those chords. So they are quite a bit harder than those open chords. So then, so you get there via per chord 5, which is E flat dominant 7. You're coming from G, by the way, ending the 3rd verse. Whoop. To A flat. To E flat with a G in the bass, to F minor, and to C minor. And where are we? In D flat 6, yes. B flat minor, to C minor, to F dominant 7, to B flat minor, to E dominant 7, and then to A flat. And you have another outro, I mean, but then in the key of A flat. So, as you can see, all of a sudden you have a whole new set of chords which aren't necessarily easy ones. Of course, it's just one verse, so if you're able to play bar chords, you should be fine to get through those. And if you don't, go for the Carpenters version. Okay, now it does mean we have a lot to talk about. I show you all the chords, all the different fingerings and options for those, because there's more than one way to do those, depending on what you're playing here. Don't fret all the notes you're not playing here. So for example, did I already show you? Yes, I did. One very important aspect of playing any instrument is, of course, to be able to transition from one chord to another. And in this case, you definitely have to. So I go through that quite thoroughly, and you should follow along. Two main techniques. One is when you go to a chord with a fretted bass note, for example, from D to G, then let go on beat 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. It means you play an open string, the third string in this case. But if you go to a chord with an open bass note, so anything with E, anything with A, anything with D, then wait until you get to that bass note, beat 1. Usually. So, for example, going from C minor, yes, to D7, which has the fourth string open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, put down your fingers in the order that you need those. So that's usually going from low to high. And when you go back, I assume you're already there. Okay, so yes, there's quite a bit we discuss. Go through the progression, of course, including the key change, and then you have a very nice song under your belt. Find someone to sing it, or sing it yourself. I am probably letting someone else do it. Okay, you need to check it out at turtleguitars.com. Skeeter Davis is The End of the World.